Nathan Cleary plays his 200th game. Bronson Cherry gets recalled for the Bulldogs. Terrell Sloan is at fullback for the Dragons. Reece Walsh and Ben Hunt are both out. And so many more changes have been made this week to the teams that are going to play in round 6. Welcome to the kennel as we preview round 6 of the Rugby League and the NRL. And as always, I have my trusty co-hosts Dibbo and Zaatar to run us through all the games. But before we do any of that, can I just ask you guys, as a small favor, just click the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. We do appreciate it all. And once again, this episode is brought to you by Equity Assets Finance. Details will be in the description and at the end of the show. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello. So you're saying a lot of sweeping changes. I don't see any sweeping changes.
Massive changes. Team this Tuesday, best day of the week.
There have been some changes, yes, TLT. Big week for so many teams. I think, for the Bulldogs, for the Dragons, for the Sea Eagles.
Just the teams that are struggling.
No, but I mean, even if you look at the West Tigers, can they carry on? Can the Warriors bounce back? There's so many changes that are happening at the moment. We're going to go through all of them. Mm-hmm. But before we do any of that, how are you, gentlemen?
Looking forward to another loss this week.
I'm hopeful this week. I reckon we'll put
Very
50 on the
optimistic.
Penny Panthers.
Very optimistic this week.
Who invited this guy? 50 on the Panthers.
Minimum 50.
Listen, I'll tell you what. If the Bulldogs beat the Panthers by 50, I will do the highest voted thing on Instagram as long as it's not haram. Like, I will do something crazy because there's no way the Bulldogs are going to put 50.
I'm predicting my weekend starts at 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. Thursday night.
You're going to get slizzard.
So, weekend starts. I'm either drowning out my
what?
sorrows or celebrating.
I know Penrith have had a hot start to the season, but
I know.
No.
Greatness.
No. I mean, I know they've had a hot start to the season, and the Dogs are missing Crichton.
Who's Crichton?
Angus Crichton.
Angus Crichton.
Anyways, I think you guys will give a good account of yourselves this week.
Look, we can only hope.
I think you will do well.
We can only hope. It's going to be a big game. So let's talk about the Bulldogs and the Panthers. Let's get straight into it, I guess. The one change that the Bulldogs have made, Bronson Cherry is back in place of Stephen Crichton. Stephen Crichton, look, the injury news on Stephen Crichton is a little bit up and down at the moment. Gus Gould has said that it's a grade 5 AC joint injury.
Yep.
Some people say it could be a 6-month injury. Some people saying 6 to 8 weeks. We know that Kalen Ponga had a similar injury and came back 2 weeks.
Really?
Given pain management.
The whole year.
Yeah. So I don't think he's going to be out for 6 months. I don't think he'll be out for 3. I don't even think he'll be out for 6 weeks, to be honest.
$1 million, he's not doing a season-ending injury like that.
Yeah, look, I don't think he'll be out for that long.
Have to wheel him out in the wheelchair. Bring him out.
I mean, even last year after he got injured against the Storm, he tried so hard to come back and play, and he almost did. They lamed him on the bench, but obviously wasn't to be. But other than that, we're still starting with Max King, Sam Hughes, Jamin Salmon. The only difference on the bench is Harry Hayes comes in, and Jake Turpin is also brought in on the 19-man bench. Interestingly, Sean O'Sullivan is still there at 17.
He's good. He's a good option to have on the bench.
Look, he's a great option to have. Yeah, good option to have on the bench. With the Panthers, they get Nathan Cleary. Obviously, plays his 200th game. Mitch Kenny is back, as we know. He's integral to their defense. And then they've got Billy Phillips, Jack Cogger, Scott Sorensen, Luke Garner, Isaac Tungo, and Freddie Lussick on the extended bench, which, it's a crazy bench. How do you see this one going, boys? I mean, genuinely, like, I know that we make our jokes, but how do you think this will go?
I honestly, like, everyone's expecting Penrith to put 40 or 50 points. I think the Dogs will give a really good account of themselves. Like, they'll be disappointed with back-to-back losses. I still think points might be their issue, just at this stage. I do have them losing, but not by a lot, to be honest. I have them losing admirably, probably by about 10 to 14 points.
Why do you think they will have a better performance against the Panthers as opposed to the Storm?
like, do you remember last year's game at Combank?
Yeah,
How they,
8-6.
there's a lot of players from former players that were at Penrith that play with the Bulldogs now. Obviously, Critter's not there, but I feel like they'll keep the game condensed, if you know what I mean. They won't play an expansive sort of football, and they'll make Penrith play the same style. They'll limit Penrith, try to limit Penrith. They'll try to limit Penrith from using the width of the field. So I feel like
Penrith has been doing that.
yeah,
really
I know. But Canterbury can play that sort of footy. They can play a negative sort of defensive style footy.
Maybe, but the final that we played against them, they pumped us like 40-something to 20.
Yeah, I know. He's obviously felt like that day. I know. Like when I watched that day, Canterbury felt like they needed to throw the ball around. Which is fair enough. It's finals footy. It's a regular club game. I know Canterbury will be having a lot to play for because Penrith's literally put 40 or 50 on everyone else. Like, we're winning by crazy amounts.
Their smallest winning margin was what, like 20?
Yeah.
You know, and I know that basically, Canterbury know they can't get, they know they've got to give a really good account of themselves. Like, for example, again, Souths, if you guys held the ball.
Yeah, in the second half, I think we
no
win.
kidding. The game would be a completely different outcome.
Yeah.
Your completion rate was 60% or something.
Yeah.
That's atrocious.
No team wins against
and he's only lost by 8 points. In all honesty, if you got, I can't believe 60% for completion set. That is horrendous. But it just tells me if Canterbury up to about 80, 85, well, 85 is where they really should be, 80, 85, especially what we've seen from the last 2 seasons. But if Canterbury had completed that, they would have beaten Souths. They'd be riding high into this game. They know if they can hold the ball, they will frustrate Penrith. Look, I'm still not tipping Canterbury. I've got to give Penrith their dues. But if Canterbury can hold the ball, get through their completions really, really solidly, they will frustrate Penrith. They do have the defence in them. They really haven't bled points this year besides that one game, if you think about it. And that was due to their very poor ball control and like an intercept and, just another loose pass, basically. They're a lot better than 2-2.
I don't think we are, but look, what I take some solace from is that
Far out, man. This guy missed a negative.
Tough supporter.
You've rubbed off on him.
I've rubbed off.
Please exit the building.
No, I'm very hopeful.
I don't like.
This is gonna be upset.
Please don't rub off on me.
Upset of the round.
Now listen.
No, I'm not tipping an upset.
One
I just
thing-
think Canterbury's going to give a really good account of themselves.
I'm tipping an upset because I'll never tip against my team. But what I think will work in our favour.
Rubbed off on him.
I've never tipped against my team.
Yes, you have.
I've never tipped against the Bulldogs.
So maybe you watch 300 episodes.
Go watch 300 episodes. But what I think will help the Bulldogs is how we performed in the second half against the Panthers. Sure, they may have put the Q in the rack, but we also showed that if we were to play the ball well and give Galvin the space he needs, we can make inroads. All we need is Max King and Sam Hughes not to play garbage. That's what I think. Look, I'm not saying we can win. I don't know if we can. Like, crazier things have happened. All I'm saying is that we put ourselves in the best position as long as we make a real effort, right? I think we need to make that real effort. And I think we'll be the closest so far to Penrith. I don't think we'll beat them, but I think we'll be the closest. But I am tipping an upset.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you there. I think they'll do well against them. As in, they'll be the closest to Penrith so far.
This game's going to be a make or break for me. Not like I'm still going to be a supporter of the Bulldogs and I'll still be here doing the podcast. But for the Dogs, I think this game is them putting up a mirror on the wall. This is what the game's going to do. This game is going to expose all our flaws. I think we were saying it in our review. Maybe you as well. It's going to expose all our flaws and it's going to expose our strengths. It's going to shine the spotlight on players that are underperforming that we've been calling out for the last couple of weeks.
It's your middle.
Our middle is going to be under
Like
so much pressure.
If
to
they can,
under
Elmo
this
hit
game.
it. If your middles can really do well, you will give a
Our
really good
middles have gone
account.
missing in the last few weeks. Like players getting knocked about on the field. Nowhere to be found. Unless it's a small outside back, they all decide to show themselves. So I think this game is them putting up a mirror against the wall, and it's going to be a true account of where all the questions have been asked, right? Like, can they score points?
There's elements of your starting team I don't like.
Yeah, I know you don't like it.
If I had a chance, I'll tell you what I'd run with. Honestly, like in your forward pack, I'd run with Kurt Mann at 9, and I'd run with... Is Curran playing or is he out?
No, he's still injured.
All right, so that scraps everything. So I'd run just with Kurt Mann at lock instead of
Salmon.
James Salmon.
I'd like to see kick
I'm
out
not
in the
going there.
front
Who?
Kick out
Yeah.
in the front row.
You know, that's fair enough, but I just think, he's still good damaging out wide at this stage. I want to see your front rows try to give a good account of themselves in the first 15, 20. He can maybe relieve them for 5 or 10 minutes with the other forward. But I want to see Kurt Mann go to start as lock. I don't want Serraldo going there in survival mode and putting me Jamin Salmon just to make me 15 or 20 tackles that aren't going to really make a
Jamin
dent.
Salmon will be starting.
Yeah, but I would have loved Kurt Mann. Look, Tupanua there. Look, you could even run with Kurt Mann at 9 and Tupanua at lock. Like, that's just making an intent from the start.
No,
honestly. But instead, he's got him on the bench. You could even run Harry Hayes in the starting lineup.
I think we lose too much if Satili starts. I don't like it when he starts.
No, the impact he provides is like it's great. And look, to be honest, like what I want to see from the Dogs is them putting everything on the line. Just put it out there. Don't try and play too fancy. Don't try and get too cute. Just go out there and play the best rugby league you can play. Support Galvin. Just if you follow Galvin and Burton, we'll go a very long way to maybe not winning, but absolutely putting them under pressure. Once you put them under pressure, right? They haven't been under pressure this year. Who knows how they react if they get put under pressure? Right, it could be like it could turn everything upside down, and they could lose a lot of momentum and not be able to recapture it. There are those possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Who's ref in the game?
Not.
Who's Gerard Sutton?
Oh,
No, what's that game ref you had in the first round?
Adam G.
No, not Adam G. Didn't you have someone else? Grant Atkins or whatever? I think he's got all right with Grant Atkins.
The ref.
Roll.
That's not here.
Oh, it's not up yet.
No, it's not up
It'll
yet.
come up tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, in any case,
I'll be watching the podcast to see who to put.
In any case, I think
Gerard Sutton.
I think what we have to do is we can't be as fragile on the edges. We've been very fragile on our edges. Like Dom Young scored 3 tries against us. Last week
Scorched.
in the Rabbitohs, we sort of got pumped by Latrell scored 2. And then
On the back of like errors and not defending the middle. Like we give up the middle.
Yeah, that's all he's got to do. I reckon if you guys keep the error rate down and complete up towards 85%, hey, like he's all frustrated.
I want to see. So
he's
what
got that in you.
What I want to see is Burton kicking early. As often as possible.
And belting it.
Bro, get to 4th and belt it.
The game's
get to
at
4th
Ackle?
and belt it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just get to 4th and belt it. Let's make the Panthers run out of their 10 every single set. If we can get them on the back foot even for 10 minutes, we can apply pressure. But we just
we
need to complete at 90%. We need to complete at 90%.
You know what I could see? With a good kick chase, him putting up a skyscraper to 5'1" winger Brian Tutter.
Yeah.
And them challenging the ball. And even if they don't get the ball, if they do a good chase, they're in his face, they're minimising his damaging ball runs. And then he can't. And then he can't do like a dummy half scoot or a first or second tackle hit up. Like they're really limiting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're really limiting him.
They did that last year.
Whereas
They go after
Jenkins has to come in and he's not as effective. I would just be peppering Brian Toto the whole time. Even if he gets some decent returns in, but you'll be tiring him out. Just keep peppering him. He's only 5'1". I can't believe they don't put up the high ball.
I think in the last 5 years,
and a good kick chase.
only 2 tries have been scored over the top of
Because
it.
nobody tries to kick to
They've
his
tried
wing.
it hundreds of
Can you
times.
imagine if Daniel
Hundreds of
Tupou got
times.
a hang time there? It's called tries galore.
Even he couldn't score over
Because
it.
no one really, I don't know
Look,
why.
even if
they're
it's-
not executing.
I
I
think
think he's a
the
fantastic
point you
winger.
make
He's
is
5'1".
He gets
He's
himself
not going
in the right
He's not
position.
going to out jump someone 6'4".
Gets in the right
I
position.
think the point you made though is a great point in that make him take the first hit up and just have
A great kick chase in his face. What's he going to make? 5 meters?
10 meters, even if he makes
And
it
then
that
he
last
won't be.
year,
And then he won't be able. Like he won't even be able to take.
and
the
we
first
barely
hit up.
lost, and that was one of the games of the
Yeah.
season. I'm actually expecting something similar to that. I think the result will be
Like
the same.
belt it. Even make him turn around and run back to go get it. You're tiring him out. He's not
a pass,
energizer.
like a pass mark for this game is if the Bulldogs like narrowly lose, that for me will be such a great pass mark.
That's a turnaround.
in my opinion. That'll be we've turned the corner.
Yeah, so I was
you
saying
just mixed
before,
it.
like this is the game where it's obviously not like round 15.
They got to come out. They got to come out all guns blazing. They can't let Penrith get in the group.
From a culture perspective, from a team effort perspective, from
Kurt Mann needs to start.
The confidence
Yeah.
is the biggest thing they need to take out of this game, and I think keeping it close for 80 minutes, not like we're getting pumped 24-0 and then we score like a runaway try at the end of the
no.
game. but we've kept it close for the whole game. I think the team will come out stronger for it, and then we go pull 400 on Parramatta Eels.
Hopefully.
Oh, it's Para the week after.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then Broncos.
We're at Combank.
Yeah.
Yeah, the King's birthday.
many-
No, that's
No,
not.
it's
No,
not
it's not the
King's
King's
How many
birthday.
home games have those guys got already?
Yeah.
What are they going
oh,
to have on the back end? 2 home games for the last back end?
All right, what's your tip?
Penrith, I'm going to say 24-10. Well, maybe 24-10. I was going to say 16. But
Bulldogs by 8 because, what do you call it? Penrith Panthers struggle to close out games.
I want to say Bulldogs at 24-22.
I'm optimistic for the Dogs. I know I've given it to Penrith 24-10, and it might be a tad harsh on the Dogs, but I think they're going to give a good account of themselves. Especially
I do.
they come out all guns blazing. They can't put he can't put someone. He can't.
We just have
He
to
can't just
accept
put
it now.
me salmon out there.
Is there a psychologist that wants to sponsor the podcast? Because Elmo, Dibbo, and myself have been
Man, I've been
talking
scarred about this guy for
weeks.
2 years. No word of a lie. Before last year, I was blowing up about. I used to say, yeah, he does the dirty work and all that, which is great and fantastic and all. But in finals games or games where he's need to make a dent,
He's not it.
he's not competing.
Yeah, he's not it. He's not it.
Just
Anyway.
another participant.
All right, so we've both tipped the Dogs. You've tipped the
Penrith.
the Panthers.
Honestly, if the Dogs win, oh mate, I'll glaze them on the next episode. Not you. I'll start.
Do you know the glazing that I will be
No, I'll start, but remember what I said. I'll start.
All right, next game. Your besieged but beloved Dragons
0-6.
up against the Sea Eagles. So
Apparently, you're ranking some changes.
not really. The only change he's made, and it's a forced change, is Tyrell Sloan is at fullback.
Yep.
He has switched the halves, so Carl Flanagan is at halfback. Daniel Atkinson is at 6, which I actually think is a good move.
Because you know what? Because pretty much it's like Flanagan's going to be a second dummy half.
I think so.
Some dummy half, and he just passes it on. Man, just show how deluded he is.
Outside blooding New South Wales Cup player, I think is your best half in that.
Oh, look, Cade Reed's ready to go.
And look, Cade Reed is...
I will fight anyone here. You know, I'd rather Cade Reed than Kyle Flanagan.
Cade Reed is on the bench at 19.
He won't play.
But so is Blake Laurie, so is Jacob Helangahu, so is Little Joe, so is Kerr, so is Sele. Look, for me, all I want to see is...
Where's Loco? Nowhere.
No, he's on the extended bench with Lycan King, Togia, and
Finney.
I want to see Little get more time. I want to see
Bloody
Helangahu more
oath.
time.
Should start.
Cook is clearly not up to scratch. And
He's been one of the better players.
No, I
last few
don't.
weeks.
Not the last few weeks, really.
Yes, he has.
I think Tyrell Sloan will add much needed speed there. And I think there's going to be a little bit more dynamism for the Dragons. And this will be a win where, you know, they do.
Manly has a horrible record there. They haven't won there in 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, you know, obviously with the law of averages, the more you lose, the closer you get to a victory.
Maybe.
Can't keep winning.
It's true. But it's also a very unique situation. Manly have made one change. They've brought Saab back onto the wing because he's served his suspension.
Yeah, I feel Clayton Forlalo was fantastic. I thought he was hard done by. I thought he would just stuck with these 1-17 and told Saab, look,
Saab
you're
offers
sitting
nothing.
on. He would have told Saab you're either 18 or 19 this week.
You know what just was interesting is one of the reasons they got rid of Seabold was because he wasn't giving Joey Walsh a chance. And
Look, he's come into the squad.
well, not really. He's on the extended bench.
He's
so
number
he can't
20
use
now.
him. He can't use him unless he moves him into the bench. But like, it doesn't look like he's going to be used, which is interesting. But they're giving Foreign it seems like they're giving Foreign the breathing space to make the decisions that he needs
I
to
love
make.
what he's done here, but like for example, Paul Bryan, that's another new one.
He's been on the bench for a couple of weeks
Yeah,
now.
Simeone Lafai.
Leafi.
Yeah.
He's a specimen.
He's a man mountain.
Yeah.
Allahumma back. He's huge. Would love to see him get a run. Not a fan. Look, Corey Waddell's been pretty good for them, to be honest. The last week.
Everyone looked great that game.
Yeah, honestly, they did.
I
They
don't
were
see
a completely different team.
What a-
completely different team.
So I'm actually, I'm going to keep tipping the Dragons until they win.
No, not me.
Wait. That's
I'm
right.
not
You can
tipping
tip whoever you want. Hamish Stewart is starting at lock. Where, if at all, do you think the Dragons can win this? Be honest, not negative. Don't be a pessimist. Be a realist.
It's got to be. Man, they're really outdone for speed in the backs. Like, really outdone. It's insane how badly outdone they are. Like, their best chance is for Manly forwards to have a horrible game, and somehow Jaden Saw and Hamish Stewart somehow to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
I
honestly.
think your forward pack is much stronger than their forward pack.
Not compared. Like Paseka shits on our front rowers. I'll say it straight away. Like there's no competition.
I would have Couchman
Oh
over
look, sorry,
Paseka.
there's Couchman there. Sorry, I didn't see Couch. But look, take Couchman out of there. Paseka shits on Gula and Blake Laurie.
Yeah, I would.
Like,
But only on his
100%.
day,
And everyone
though.
else.
Paseka's very up and down. Like there are games where you think Paseka's going to run over you, and he makes 70 meters. He's very up and down.
Emre Gula has a good game every 10.
Yeah.
So you should be due for one.
Oh, you're really giving me confidence, mate. But I'll look at it like Luch, Sewer, Stewart, Couchman, maybe Cookie. You know, they can't play big minutes.
Cookie's not crap. Don't get me
Jacob
wrong.
Little, it's got to be these. It's got to
Yeah.
be them somehow
Yeah.
sneaking and Manly just having an off game. You know, like Manly's got to pretty much have 2 HIO to their strike players and have Jake Trebojevic.
To be honest,
assume.
Manly's proven that they're rubbish this year. They've only had that one.
They
Yeah.
still got a classy halfback in Jamal Fogarty, man. Come
No,
on.
no doubt. But I also think like what I want to see from Daniel Atkinson at 6 is run. Just run. Just run, bro. Run. I want to see him take 5, 6, 7 runs.
Oh, he made a
at
line
6.
break against the Cowboys, but you know the Gutherson came about 10 years too
I
late.
remember that. But now he's
Oh,
got
that was,
Terrell
that was a
Sloan.
cracking line break too, but there was nobody in support.
Like for me, I don't get how Christian Tuipulotu maintains his position.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to see? Tyrell Sloan just being told, back yourself.
Yeah.
Support the plays always.
100%.
Like, back yourself, support. If you're tired, shift to the wing. Let Setu 2 go to the back. And because Setu 2, you know, he gives it his all. But let Setu 2 go to the back and get those kick returns or high balls. He's actually pretty good under the high ball.
Yep.
You know, he's not great, but he's good. And he works at the back. Like, like against the Dogs, he diffused a lot of high balls. And he took a lot of runs from
Yeah,
the
he
back.
was great. Honestly, we put him under a
It
lot of
was his
pressure.
debut game, and yeah, he did well.
In Vegas.
If things blowing hard, because I don't rate Tyrell Sloan's fitness, right? But if he's blowing hard, go on the wing, you know, and let basically and let Setu to basically assume the fullback, basically coming out of your own half, you know, or like fielding the kick returns and all that. They got to be smart. They got to
Yeah.
communicate.
This is going to sound
Valentine Holmes needs to have a
cracking game.
Yeah, he really needs, after last week's poor performance. That was atrocious.
I know you may not agree with me, but I think I'm rating Kyle Flanagan for a big game. Believe it or not.
Like, what's that? Just a maybe a 1 try assist and
No,
and 2 missed tackles?
Maybe not even a try assist. Where I think Kyle Flanagan needs to really help out is
Just pass on the ball.
without Kyle Flanagan there in defense. I felt like they had no one telling them where they should be standing in defense. You may not agree with me, and that's okay. Just from what I saw.
It's not his job to.
But no, but it's like sometimes at 7, you need that one guy who communicates where the defense should be, and I think Kyle Flanagan's going to make a big difference.
Look, he offers nothing in attack.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I don't know what his father sees in a halfback, but a halfback's meant to be an influential player on
I
the
agree
field,
with you.
And that is such a delusion at the club. I think the father needs to be let go after this game, and his son as well.
What if they come out and pump the Seagulls?
Yeah, okay.
Hypothetically.
Like I said yesterday, it's do or die every
Yeah,
game.
I
If he wins this, good. He probably gets 2 weeks stay of execution.
Yeah.
If he beats South, we can turn around and give him another month.
Yeah.
You know, if he you know, he's got to keep giving a good account of himself. I don't like wishful thinking against South.
But do you know what this will say if the team comes out and plays like they want to play? Do you know what this will say to me? It'll say that they still want Flano there as coach. Like if they come out with the intensity, for me, it'll be like a litmus test of
Man, if they lost
how
in
much do they want Flanagan there? Because if they come out and still play shit, it's like we're not responding to Flanagan anymore.
He was atrocious. You were there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they come out this game and they're on fire,
But he was a lot to blame for it with his substitutions and his
Oh,
rotation.
he was really
and
bad.
who he started and
not sure what.
you know, you got some journos like piss off.
Yeah.
Like, why haven't their network sacked him already? Like, trying to back him and blame the players and all. Like, have you seen? He's the one choosing the teams.
They're getting the views.
Yeah, blame the
First thing
players.
you're
No one
talking
asked.
about
No, you know, he's not putting him in first grade. I don't agree with a lot of what he's doing. And it's, if anything, we've been vindicated. The fans have been vindicated by all the criticism. And you got some donkey journos.
I want to see.
I wouldn't even call them journos.
I want to see
sorry.
the Dragons target Jason Saab's side. He's very weak in defense.
I think
very,
he'll
very.
target himself.
But he's very, very fast. Like, I'll tell you how crazy fast they are. That like Hapawadi, Garrick, Kula, Saab, even Tom Tavoyevich. He's the slowest
Very
out of the
quick,
5.
yeah, and
But they're
he's
all
still-
fast.
They're all super quick.
And the only 2 that can match maybe one of the 2 of them for pace is Tyrell Sloan and Valentine Holmes. The rest are slow. Like Tui Pilote and Suli are slower than our forwards.
Yeah, but if the Atkinson can get the ball out to Setu 2 enough early enough, I do think Jason Saab just has a very bad defensive read in him.
I would put 2 against. 2. That's his name.
Yeah.
I would put 2 against Saab, And with Tui Plotter
It
against
is.
a smaller
That's
body
how
and
they'll-
Leo Hopewadi.
That's how they'll line up. It'll be two up
Or I
against
put
sub.
or either. I think Tui Plotter will do well against
I don't, bro. Honestly,
slow. They put a kick
Tuipulotu
behind them, he'll burn them.
Tuipulotu's a hammer.
Tyrell Sloan's got to position himself
But
really
anyway,
well.
I do think that the Manly will play good though. I actually don't think they're going to shit themselves. I think that they'll be buoyed after that win last week against the Dolphins. They won't be as good, but they will play well. So it'll be a good challenge for the Dragons. But I think the Dragons are up for
Man,
it.
I honestly...
I'm tipping the Dragons by 6.
From the bottom of my heart, I really want Tyrell Sloan to have a worldie.
Me too.
Like, I love the bloke. I've loved him since he first came into first grade. And obviously, I've been against all the treatment he's copped. Like, he scored 17 tries in 19 games last year whilst punted to the wing, down on confidence. Like, imagine he was playing with confidence.
Yeah.
And that's not including the try assists he done. I'm going Manly by 10.
What's your tip, Zaatar?
It's a tough one. I'm going Dragons. I don't know about how
Someone
much.
removing from the chat.
Like a 2-score game, like whether that's like 8, 10, 12.
I think there'll be 4 or 6 points in at max.
No, I can't. You got to give Manly. If Manly had lost against Dolphins last week, yeah, I probably would have tipped the Dragons. That's how atrocious I would have said.
Yeah, but by that logic, the
Big
Dragons have
gap
won
outs.
5 in a row, and they're due for a win. As you say, the more you lose, the closer you get to a win.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Anyway, now the Brisbane Derby, Broncos versus the Cowboys, up there at Suncorp Stadium at 8 p.m.
Some
changes
key
in
outs.
this one.
Yeah, so Jesse Arthurs is at fullback. Come to the Dogs.
Drinky had a good game. They found their groove.
For the Broncos.
He's good.
No,
I
he's
thought
not.
Braden Byrne was injured.
Yeah, I thought so too. But they've named. Let me just go through the Broncos. Sorry, Adam Reynolds is named, but I don't think he'll play. I think this is just a bit of smoke and mirrors.
So we're having Corey Pakes at 7.
I think what we'll do is Thomas Duffy will end up coming in
Oh,
and playing at
debuting?
7. Yeah,
Oh, wow, we.
I think that's what happens. And good old Hayes Perham is on the interchange bench. You remember good old Hayes?
Good to see him come back.
Hey, gave me trauma every time he went
What
catch
happened
a
to the
ball.
other Hayes? Hayes Dunster.
I think he's at the Warriors. Maybe
Is he? Oh,
I think maybe he's. I don't know.
Look at that.
actually.
Zach Labour can't even get a run. That's how well they're
Yeah.
I know where I'm tipping here.
Blake Moses is a highly touted.
Man, those Brisbane Broncos. You
He's
think,
making his debut.
Oh yeah, he's
this
made at
weekend.
14. He'll
Yeah, and
definitely
he's been
play.
highly touted
Who?
for the Broncos. Blake Moser.
is that his debut?
Yeah.
That would be his debut.
No, I think he's played a game before. I think he may have played one game.
Oh, I
Pretty
don't
sure he's
think
played a
so.
game.
Took a
Maybe,
while.
but
I hope it
Guys
works
in the
out for him.
comments correct me, but I think it's his debut.
I hope it works out for him.
I
I
hope
don't
they
know
get
why they're
pumped up
re-signing
the field.
Corey Pakes. Like he's just
He's
Didn't
done
they
well.
just sign him? Re-sign him?
there for 2 years. Like I think Blake Moser won't. He'll be gone. Like if he can't get a starting position, he's got the potential as one of the best nines up and
I
comers.
don't think he's too far away from locking down the starting position.
They just
I
re-signed-
think they're pushing Billy Walters out.
Bro, come to the Dogs.
Who are the outs for the Bronco? I mean, for the Cowboys.
So the Cowboys have a pretty much unchanged
Oh,
team with
Sam
the exception,
McIntyre.
of Sam McIntyre.
Harrison Edwards, Carrigan, Lars.
So they've got Halem Lukey, Kyle Donald, Ruben Cotter in their back row and lock. Jason Taumalolo, Cohen Hess starting props. On the bench, they've got Sonny Luke, who didn't play last week.
Is this a game at Suncorp?
Yep.
Far
Griffin
out.
Neem, Thomas McKaylee, Matt Lodge, who I think also didn't play, Zach Labour, and Mason Barber. Look, I reckon this is going to be a good game. Reece Walsh being out, I think, affects the ability of the Broncos to attack significantly.
Well, they've got Ben Hunt out. They've got Adam Reynolds out. They've got Reece
Walsh,
Walsh
yeah.
out. I don't see where they score points.
Oh, they'll still score.
I think
They'll still
Katoni,
score
I think
because-
Katoni Staggs will have a big game.
You need Ezra Mem to have a big game to actually
Man,
get
that
in the
Jackson
ball.
Purdue found his groove last week.
Yeah.
So did Tom Chester.
This will be an interesting one. Look, I because of all the injuries, I do think that the Cowboys are in good enough form to upset the Broncos here, but I think it'll be a very, very close game.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to run away with it.
Now, I'm
Cowboys
torn.
roll
I'm torn who to
straight
tip here, man.
Nah, honestly, I don't think so.
I'm going to go Cowboys by 2.
I want to go Cowboys by 18.
It's going to be a close
No
one,
way,
I'm-
man.
I'm
I
like-
wanna
I
go-
reckon they roll
I'm
straight through
confused.
these Broncos.
Actually, hang on a second. Can I see the forward pack for the Broncos?
Payne Huss is there. Pat Carrigan's
Brian
there.
Benson, Payne Haas, keep going, Brendan Piakura.
Xavier
Hillian
Williamson
Luke is
coming off
such a
the
good
bench.
player. Who's that? Ruben Cotter? Carrigan. Oh, shit. Fuck. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. No, I'm going to change my tip. I'm going to go Brisbane by 4.
I'm so tempted to go Brisbane by 4.
I went from Cowboys to Brisbane. I'm going to go Brisbane by 4.
I'm going Cowboys 18 minimum. Well, it's at least going to be a win in my opinion. I think they've I think the Cowboys have found their groove, but this is where they always let us down. This is where they just turn over and give up the game, forfeit the game.
I'm going to say Broncos by 4.
Nah, I'm going Cowboys.
You know what?
Cowboys have so much strike across the park. And I don't trust the edge defense, like with Jesse Arthur's moving to fullback. I don't trust him in fullback.
All right, I'm going to go Cowboys by 2. I think it'll be a very close game. Cowboys by 2.
But Jesse Arthur's such a workaholic, man.
Bro, Jesse Arthur is such a good player.
Fuck, I'd have him at Dragons in a heartbeat.
So you're going Broncos by 4?
Yeah.
Cowboys by 18?
Yeah.
Cowboys by 2. Next game. Rabbitohs and Raiders at Optus Stadium in Perth.
Gee whiz, in Perth. Let's see, who are the outs?
Go
Go up. I want to see who's out.
Tomato gets suspended?
Xavier Savage, Daniel Laurie. No, I'm going South.
Jet Stewart comes in for Savage.
Yeah. That's going to be generational. He's in the set. No, I thought
Brandon Smith makes his comeback for the
Wabbitohs.
For the Rabbitohs. Yes.
It's Wabbit season.
Wabbits.
Straight in the starting lineup. Fair dinkum.
I actually think that I do think that he won't start the game. I think that Wayne Bennett will make a change and start him on the bench. I think either Peter Mamazoulis or Bronson Garlick will start the game. I don't think that...
Garlick's in 18, eh?
Yeah, I think with Mamazoulis. And look, they do have Sean Kepi on the bench. Cowboys have a good bench. They've got a good team.
Who Raiders?
Raiders, sorry.
This is like a crossroads for the Raiders. Like, if they don't win this, they're going to be 1-5.
They're going to miss the 8.
They'll miss the 8 if they don't win this game. It's just going to start becoming out of reach, and then the math is going to start creeping in their minds. Like, we have to win X amount of games to make it in. It's the same sort of fear I've got for the Dogs, right? But I think for the Raiders...
That guy went and put his son ahead of Chevy Stewart. Gee whiz, he's deluded.
They put his son ahead of Matthew Timoko.
Yeah, just to give you a few. He's in the centres as well?
He's
on the
well
wing.
last year.
Are you sure? I thought I saw him
You
at
guys
4.
been harsh. He played well last year, and he's
I know,
kept
he's
in
on the
reserve
wing.
grade.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a bad decision.
I don't think, the last...
mate.
I don't think there's any nepotism with Ricky Stewart.
Do you know what I think as well? I'm so shocked that they're actually willing to let go of Matt Timoko. I think he'll be fantastic for the Bulldogs. Matt Timoko.
There's a lot of players out there that I think will be great for the Bulldogs.
I'll take Chevy Stewart in a heartbeat.
Oh, me too. Chevy Stewart, like he debuted when he was 18. He showed a lot of ticker.
And then he chose his
He's
son
been
over him
killing it
last
in
year.
Cup as well.
Yeah, so look,
Look at that, Latrell Seagull.
my fear for the Raiders is that their ill discipline is going to continue to buckle them under. They're going to keep putting themselves under pressure, and I feel like Josh Papali'i is so out of form. Last year, a lot of their good stuff came on the back of Papali'i and Tapane getting a roll on. This year, they're not getting that roll on.
Too many, eh?
Honestly, I like as harsh as it sounds, I actually do think it's 1 year too many. And remember, they actually had initially let him go, but then he was in such good form, they re-signed him. Yeah. He was going to go to the Eels, where I think he probably deserved to go.
Or was he going to England?
No, he was going to go to the Eels. Remember?
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, they started talking before they signed Jack DeBellin. Look, I think if the Raiders can stay disciplined for 80 minutes, I do think they have the strike across the park to win the game.
Souths.
Yeah, they've got the spark. They've got the
Souths
players to beat the South.
Souths by 14.
It's a must-win game for the Raiders. I think they're going to be more desperate.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not tipping them, but
Souths
they're
by
going to be
14.
more desperate.
It's in Perth.
What's their head-to-head record like?
Head-to-head, 20 to... It's been 34 play, 20. The Raiders have won, 14 to the Rabbitohs, and the last 2 Raiders have won.
What, 34 meetings only?
Yeah.
No, these teams have been playing against each other for 40-something years. There's something wrong.
Since
Since 98.
Yeah, since 98.
Fuck, thank God. I was thinking, man, they've played about 80 times plus.
The Souths for me, although they beat the Bulldogs, I think the Bulldogs let themselves down in the second half.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
win before that wasn't convincing. I'm not too convinced with...
Neither am I.
No, they're not as... Yeah, I had them scraping into the 8. They're not top-notch, no.
Yeah,
You're right.
I don't think they've hit their straps just yet. I might be changing my tip. I think I've talked myself into the Raiders.
Yeah, I was going to tip the Raiders. I just don't know by how much.
Just take them.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Just take the
Oh,
Raiders.
mate, you can win the tipping comp. I'm here for just a good
I'm going
company.
Souths by 14.
I'm
not saying I'm right. I'm
going Raiders by 10.
I was just thinking Raiders maybe need another week or two before they
Raiders
start
by
finding
10 is
their
a good
groove.
shout.
Wow,
I
that's
think
good.
they're desperate for the win.
Impressive.
All right, then we've got on Saturday also at Perth
In
for the
Perth,
double header. Yeah,
Wow,
Roosters against the Sharks. Jesse Ramian is out for the Sharkies, and Moeen Hiroti comes in his place. It's not a bad replacement.
Zaatar in the centres.
I'll get to the Sharks.
Wow.
That's the only change for the Sharks. They got Nikora Talakai, Kofusi, Hazelton Puru, and Hao Tapuha on the bench. For the Roosters, who had the bye last week, so they've got Savala at centre.
Who's he playing alongside on the wing?
Tupou.
Okay.
Two tall guys. They've got Victor Adley at lock. Lenu comes off the bench.
Angry Eyes is back.
Yeah. He's back.
Nice.
And Cody Ramsey's on the bench as well as Tommy Talau, Celestia Fiketi, Nat Butcher, Connor Watson. Which interestingly, the Roosters are willing to let Watson go, which I think...
Who was after him? Manly. Yeah.
Okay. To be honest, I actually think he'll be a great starting 9 at a lot of places.
100%.
I think he'll do the Bulldogs a world of good if he was to come and play a starting 9 position and have Hayward as a utility.
He's good as a lot.
Who? Watson?
Yeah.
Maybe. I still think he adds a lot of spark in attack. This is going to be a good one. I think this will be a great match. The Sharks have been playing very well. They have the forwards to match the Roosters.
Don't they have any other outside backs? Like, why would they put Savala in centres? Like, I know he's a very solid defender, but I thought the other edge is the one that's leaking the points, like the one with Mark and Robert Toya. That's been torn to shreds every week. So I don't get why they've moved Savala in to the other side. I know Billy Smith is concussed, but...
I thought they were Mark Nawanga-Katawasi in the centres.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. They would have put Mark Nawanga-Tinawase in the centres, play Tommy Talau on the wing.
Yeah, I thought that was
actually,
a
it's
no-brainer.
more issues. Like, his defensive reads are, like, non-existent.
Oh, if he was at centre?
Yeah.
That's actually a good point as well.
Like,
You
he'll
gotta put him
slide
there.
in and out whenever he feels like
You got to put him there eventually, but anyways.
it.
Yeah, so where do you think this is one, guys?
Tough on the core. Very tough because the Roosters had the bye. And normally these two have a good matchup against each other. Far out, man.
The Sharks did them over in the finals last year.
Last twice they did them over last year. 31-18.
I'm going to go Sharkies. Sharkies by 4. Man,
Where do you think the Sharkies win it?
forwards?
In the forwards?
Who's Savala lining up against? Is it KO Era?
Yeah, KO Little.
Yeah, I'll go with
Oh,
Sharks.
they could put him up against Hiroti.
He's a great defender, but I just think someone that hasn't been playing
It's
in
just,
centres.
it gets harder because Spencer Leonard's come back as well and had the
Rusty.
bye.
Victor
Oh,
Radley.
trust me, he'd be
Wash.
fresh.
I'm joking.
He's fresh. Spencer Leonard's fresh. So look at it. It's a tough one. Look
Both
at
teams
how
have been
good they're for.
uninspiring.
I just think Lindsay Collins hasn't been it this year. And Angus Cotton ain't as effective as he is in previous seasons, I find. That's
And I
just
find
me
their
anyway.
halves as well
and
aren't
Nat Butcher's been below par. You know, I never thought he was great anyway to begin with, but
Yeah.
I think he's just having a backwards season.
For me, honestly, the only reason I'm gonna go Sharks is because I think they've been a lot more convincing than the Roosters. The Roosters have not been convincing at all.
Not good last week against the Warriors.
Sorry?
The Sharks were good last week.
Manly. That was their last game.
No, Sharks, I'm saying.
Oh, Sharks.
They're good
The
against the
Sharks
Warriors.
and the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm just saying they were good.
Yeah, and I don't think the Roosters. I don't think have been at that level where you can say,
They're
oh,
fresh, but I'm going to go Sharkies.
yeah, I want to go Sharkies by 8.
Yeah. Sharkies by 6.
So,
for
well,
me.
oh,
I think
okay.
a close
I thought
game.
you were trying to convince us.
No,
to go
no,
Roosters.
I wasn't.
Be
I wasn't.
careful of this one, huh?
Yeah, what about you?
Oh, I said Sharks by 4.
Yeah, I think Sharks in a close one is sort of where we're at. All right, next game, 7:30 p.m. Saturday. Storm and Warriors.
Expecting a
at
bounce
Amy
back.
Park.
Expecting a big bounce back.
Both teams need to bounce back.
Yeah, this will be a big one.
Look at the players that have come back in for the Storm.
Moses Leo is on the wing. And then they've got
Nick
Jack
Meaney,
Howarth back
Nick Meaney,
in centres. So Nick Meaney's back to centre where I think
they
he belongs.
bleeded there last week. Bleeded.
Yeah, they bled so much.
Munster, Hughes, Okamanu, King, Chan. Yep.
Wow.
Cooper
So
Clark.
Cooper Clark is starting
He's a
in the
big
second
boy.
row. That's a big vote of confidence.
Yeah, good.
You did actually mention that in the review.
I think they just offered him a 3-year contract as well.
Jack Hetherington.
And David Moali. Remember we were saying they need more from these guys?
Yeah, nice.
They've also got Lazarus Vailepu.
Poor bloke's never going to play. He's the perennial 18th or 19th man. He's the bridesmaid, forever bridesmaid.
So they've got Chanel Harris Tavita at the Warriors now. They've got Chanel Harris Tavita at 6 and Tanner Boyd at 7. I think that's going to be very good for them.
They've still got Chans in the centres.
Chans in the centres, Pompey at 4. You know,
Shanzi,
one thing that I think Andrew Webster's gotten wrong is he has not known where to use Tane Tuapiki and Charles Nicoll-Klokstad and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Like, he keeps changing them around. And I think that's hurting their consistency.
Quality players, and he, in his mind, he just wants
Needs
them in
more
the team.
from them.
Yeah.
But I think they're leaking too much.
Melbourne by 14.
Way too many points.
A bounce back. A bounce. But not a convincing one, but a bounce
No,
back.
I think it's going to be convincing and resounding victory.
Melbourne by 14. Warriors are better, a decent side.
They are a decent side. I still... 14 is probably a good score line. Melbourne definitely win for me.
Look, it's interesting. They've got...
Is Alafana... Oh, I thought he was playing.
No, he's not. So that's what I was about to say. Like, they still haven't played Alafiana Khan Pereira, which I think is a bit unfair. But I understand. I
Who did he
actually...
drop for him?
One of the wingers.
I reckon Wateni Zelezniak.
He's in form.
No,
He's
he's
got a
not.
hat-trick.
He is.
I don't think...
He's the only one that's scoring points from at the moment.
They've also dropped Morgan Gannon, which I think is very interesting. And Ali Leitao as well. Look,
That's all right. He's young.
Yeah, I know,
Good
but I
number.
thought Ali Leitao was one of their better
They got
players.
Luke Hansen. They got a few. You know, Healy was decent. Where's Healy? Is he playing?
Yeah, he's on the bench. He's
Yeah,
14.
he gave a good account of himself last week
Look,
against his dad's old side.
I think, you know, given that Meany and Howarth are back in the centres, if Tanner Boyd can get back to the kicking and passing end that he was showing from a few weeks ago and target Moses Leo in attack, but the forwards get a roll on, I think that the Warriors can cause an almighty upset. I know that the Storm got pumped and they
It
usually...
won't happen.
I don't think that it's the same Storm. You yourself were telling me that the Melbourne Storm era is
but they're
over.
Not over, but they're not going to lose 4 in a row.
Why
And
not?
The Warriors just unconvincing last couple of weeks.
I agree with you, but I also think that they're due for a bounce back too.
Yeah, they're due for a bounce back, but not when you still got Chance like in the centres on that same edge that's leaking 3-4 tries every week. And I think if any other team, like if it was another team apart from Melbourne, I think Melbourne's just going to target that edge every single set. Every kick is going to go there. Every run is going to be played over there.
Or you've convinced me because it's Melbourne. If it wasn't Melbourne, I probably wouldn't.
Any other team, if it was the Bulldogs, I think they put 20 on us.
No, not really. But look, I'm gonna say Storm in a close one. I don't think it's gonna be.
It's also their first home game in a couple of weeks as well.
It is. I'm gonna say Storm in a close one because you know why? I do like Cooper Clark there in second row. I think he adds size and he adds aggression alongside Joe Chen.
Yeah.
And I think Utoi Kamanu and Josh King will want to make up for the poor showing last week. I'll go Storm in a very close one, but I will not be surprised if the Warriors spring an upset.
Yeah, there's this like theory that when you lose to Penrith, you lose the following week. Like there's
Oh yeah, I've heard that theory, and it's true. Look, as I say, I think the Warriors will give a good account of themselves. I don't think they're going to get smashed or anything like that. It'll be a very competitive game, and I do think Harris Tavita at 6 is better for Tanner Boyd than Luke Metcalf at 6.
100%. And Metcalf, like, unfortunately, has returned a bit out of form. I think
Heaps out of
New South Wales
form.
Cup is going to do him a world of good once he's better.
He's out for 3 weeks, and yeah, I think this will do the Tanner Boyd the world.
There seems to be a rift there as well. Like some of the commentary coming out from Metcalf's camp about wanting to be the 7.
Yeah.
And
He's
Andrew
meant to
Webster
be.
coming out.
He was leading the Daily M's last year and they were in the top 4 entrenched.
But
This was only giving him a few games.
Tanner Boyd's a better 7 than Luke Metcalf.
Over my dead body.
Nah, bro.
Tanner Boyd couldn't play for his life.
Luke
before the
Metcalf
first
is a
3
runner.
games.
Yeah.
Before these few
Luke
games this
Metcalf's
year.
a runner. He's not a 7. He's a
way.
6.
That's how Boyd will get found out.
It's an ego thing for
He'll be
me
found
for
out
Luke
the next
Metcalf.
3
Let's see.
games.
Who are you tipping?
Melbourne, of course.
Melbourne?
Melbourne as well.
All right.
Comfortably as well.
Then we've got the Eels and the Titans. Now, Eels do have quite a few injuries, and they've named a very interesting back line.
Oh, hang on a sec. Araz Nanvar. I think he's the first Kurdish player in the NRL.
Yeah, he is.
Awesome. Congratulations
Yeah.
On your
But he's
first
a
grade
centre.
debut,
They
young
put him on
man.
the wing. He's a very willing player.
Congratulations.
Very good player.
I
Watch
hope he
him in the
does well,
Did
man.
they name him on wing or centre?
Wing.
Wing, okay.
Yeah, I'll watch him in the reserves. Man, he gives a really good account of himself.
I hope he does well, to be
He's
honest.
going to be good.
So they've got Josh Papali'i at fullback. They've got Araz Nanva
Where's
on
the
the
other
wing.
guy that debuted?
AC
Injured.
joint.
Yeah, did his AC joint.
No. Try to score.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he's doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
And he took a mad bomb after.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He tried very hard. Brian Kelly's still there. I don't know how the guy steals a wage playing first grade rugby league.
He was okay against
He
the
was
Tigers.
not good at all.
He was okay.
He was not good at all. Josh Adokar. Ronald Volkman.
At 5'8".
Ronald Volkman.
Almost forgot his name until I saw the team sheet.
He was
before,
okay.
and I
He was
like,
decent in the
I,
reserves.
I don't think he's bad at all. I'm glad he's getting another shot there at 6. I think he'll do well for
What
himself.
happened to Pez at HIA?
No,
Hammy
hamstring.
or
Yeah,
quad? Yeah, I saw that.
I
Yeah.
think 4 to 6 weeks on him.
he's been so poor. Even
Has it?
Eels, Even Eels
Just
fans will tell you.
decision making.
Yeah. I think Ronald Volkman playing the running game, he's very much he plays a lot like Josh Papali'i, quick, has a good running game, has a good kicking game. I remember, at one point he was going to go to the Dragons and the Dragons didn't support him. And
No, the Dragons did Dragons.
Yeah.
They botched the contracts. don't try to sugarcoat it. They did a Dragons.
He came to the Dragons, but then he did his ACL and they didn't want to.
Don't blame him. They did a Dragons.
Did you guys see that the NRL gave Mitch Moses a warning?
That should be you know AFL, that's a suspension.
Is it?
Even if you hit him accident,
No, it wasn't about that. It was about him coming up to the ref too often.
Yeah, and doing this.
It wasn't just about the touching. It was
that
actually
was
about
too
him coming up to
much,
the
too much. I think the last time I saw somebody cop that was maybe Kamali. But we're talking like
years ago.
20 years ago.
I'm
Kamali.
hoping.
Kamali
Who
was
get suspended year before last?
Kamali
for-
was, man, you had to say Kamali 20 years ago. He was always in the ref's face. Man. Like, shut
Very
up.
happy that Mitch Moses is copying it. I think he needs to focus on the play and not on the whinge.
Should have went to the bin.
Their forwards are relatively untouched. Dylan Walker's still starting, which I still don't get. But they've got a good bench.
When's Jackie getting her on?
Who?
Jackie.
Who's Jackie?
JDB.
Look, he's on the extended bench this week.
It's been like that last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, I didn't think he played good when he first debuted there, but I don't think
He's that bad. He's not that bad.
yeah. Like, especially when you're like
I thought
deep
he
in the
should
injury
be.
crisis.
If they're going to use him starting.
I think he should be starting in Dylan Walker coming
Agreed.
up and just
Like,
sparking
they
up the
signed
attack,
him.
giving
They
them
didn't sign him
life.
to be they didn't pay him like 300 or 400k to
More.
be bench.
More. They paid
$500,000?
him. They paid him a lot more than the Dragons.
Just
That's why
to
he
sit
left.
on the bench.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, not even sit on the bench. Just
You
like-
know,
yeah.
they've got Mohamed Alamuddin
I saw him
on
in the reserves.
on the reserves.
Him and
Expected to make his
Araz
debut this
Nanvar.
week.
Him and Araz Nanvar
He's
all
set
action.
to make his debut this week.
He didn't-
So
oh.
we should see him.
This week,
We should see him play.
in
this week.
in place of who?
I have no idea.
How do you know who's going to make his debut?
Brother has his hands everywhere.
So
Unless they kick out Brian Kelly and put Araz Nanvar,
No,
where he should be playing in the centres.
so
So
I-
Araz Nanvar's a centre.
He's
I
the
think
centre.
I think Will Penasini's not ready to come back because in the press conference,
So Araz to the
Riles
centres.
was saying, Will Penasini's still not ready.
Ooh, I want to
So-
go to this game.
Yeah, I reckon it might be Araz Nanva to come to the centres and maybe Mohamed Alamuddin
On the
to,
wing. Yeah, that'd
on the
be
wing.
nice.
I'd love to see him make his debut. I think he's shown his capability. Now, for the Titans, they're still sort of as per last week.
This
They had a very good showing last week.
This one's at Combank A.
Don't you feel
Ah,
like the
they
Titans lack?
But don't you feel like
Yeah.
they play at
Just a bit
Combank every
spark.
week?
No,
Yeah, I can't put my finger.
I
on it,
think
man.
that what the Titans lack is that finishing ability. A good 7 that says, okay, this is how we finish. This is how we because they were in the
Are we
20 a
describing
lot.
the Bulldogs?
Yeah, we are. No, but generally, like
I'm going Parramatta, if anyone wants to know. I'm going Parramatta by 12.
I'm going.
Para.
Do you give Titans any chance in this game?
I'm tipping the Titans.
Is it a spike bet?
No,
'Cause I'll
I'm
join you on it.
No. I'm tipping. I just think that Parramatta have been super unconvincing, and the only reason they even got within a shoey of beating the Tigers was because of that bullshit sin bin, right? If it wasn't for the sin bin, I think the Tigers ran away with it. They have been super unconvincing. Volkman hasn't played first grade for a while. They're gonna have Araz Nanva on
Tony debutant.
Show us the forwards on each side. I'll tell you if I change my tip. or
Jack
not.
Williams,
Yeah, he was good.
Junior Baulo, Kelma Tuolangi, Kitioni Tonga, Dylan Walker. on the other side, they've got Tino,
Evenly matched?
please. Yeah, I think they're fairly evenly matched in the
Shit.
forwards.
Actually, you know what? Actually, let me look at their bench. I think I found a Waker on the bench. They're such a dumb team. They're the second dumbest team in the comp, the
Why?
Gold Coast, after the Dragons.
Well,
They
Waker's
are a
been out
dumb
of form.
team. They play with no brains at all. Like, look at their lineup. You think they should beat Para based on all their Para.
Yeah, 100%.
But they'll somehow play some dumb footy. Oh, I really want to tip Gold Coast. I do.
I think last week they played.
I'll tell you
well.
what.
I think it's
just
turned a
like
bit of a
class
corner
to
last
finish.
week, yeah.
And they've been in all their games bar one where they got pumped.
Yeah.
So who are the
It's the
outs again?
Sharks.
Let me have a look. Who's outs for Para? Twiddle, Simonson, Pezzett, Sean Russell. You know, Max Finno. Oh no, Max Finno's a bonus to be out. I'm gonna go Gold Coast. I'll change it around. Gold
Yeah.
Coast. I'm gonna go Gold Coast by 8.
I'm going to go Gold Coast by 4, like in a very close one.
Like Simonson Simonton's a big loss in that.
Yeah,
mate.
he's
He's
been very good for them, yeah.
this year. And they lost Sean Russell. He wanted to be a hero and concussed himself as well. See how he rushed out of the line? He rushed out to be a hero, ended up knocking himself out. That turned the game. They were
Yeah.
winning up till then. They were dominating. Him being a hero ruined it for him. Anyways.
Yeah.
What do
I'm
you
going
what?
Titans by 10.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Titans
Canberra.
by 10. I don't think like they could win by 4 or 6.
Who-
I
I
don't
think-
think the Titans have it in them.
What?
They have to have a 2-point victory.
I thought you were going to go Cabramatta, but anyways.
Cabramatta.
Yeah, I'm going Titans by one score win.
Moses showed up last week. I think it's the first time he's actually showed up to a game this year.
What? To the refs?
To the refs as well, but it's the first time I
Oh,
felt like
what
he
a
had an impact on the game.
mouth-watering clash.
And the last game,
I need to rub my eyes. Second versus third?
yeah, Knights
Really?
and Tigers.
Second
They're in
versus
Campbelltown
third?
Sports Stadium.
Second versus third. Am I seeing things?
So for the Tigers, they've got one change where Jarrell Skelton comes in for the suspended Luke Lolili.
That's all right.
And then
Macassini to the centres. For who? No, he's always been there.
yeah, he's always been in the
Yeah,
centres.
geez, sorry.
That's
Yeah.
his position.
But other than that, they are as sort
Is
of
Laura
named.
extended or anything?
No.
No.
Herbert's on. Why is Herbert on the extended but Stafford Toa isn't? Stafford Toa's great in the reserves. He was better than Herbert, I thought.
Stafford Toll's injured. He's not back to round 8.
No, he played in reserves.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I watched him play. Him and Patrick Herbert. He was better than Herbert was good, but Stafford Toa was way
I
better.
I rate Stafford Toll, man.
He was way better. It's his first. It was his first game back, mind you.
Maybe needs a couple of weeks to
I
come
reckon
back.
he was ready. He killed them. What a game this is going to be. A
Yeah,
mouth-watering.
and with the Knights,
Who's out for the Knights and ins?
Bradman Best is out.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got William DeCourcy.
I don't even know who that is.
Yes,
Sorry.
young kid.
Debut.
Debut. Oh no, he played last week.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice, and that win, fantastic.
Yeah.
I love this. Oh, I'm loving both teams this year. There's some guys in there like Fletcher Hunt. I'd sign him in a heartbeat. I would. I'd even let him keep his long hair. Like honestly, he's been really good. Such a tough one to pick because
Yeah.
Tyson Frizzell's like playing. He's playing his best footy in a number of years.
It's gonna be. This is such a tough game. It'll be a great game.
Where's it at, mind you?
Campbelltown.
Campbelltown Sports Ground. It's going to be a sellout. This one's a tough one. Like Newcastle's been, oh wow, they've been good.
But so have the Tigers.
Yeah,
The only reason
I'm trying to make a case to tip Newcastle. But every time I go to make a case to tip them, the Tigers pop out, and then who pops in my head?
Alex
Kai Pearce
Wall.
Pause. No, not Alex.
he's
Oh,
been excellent though.
He's been third, fourth man in most tackles.
No,
his
bro.
work rate's been good, but third, fourth man in, I don't like that. Kai Pearce Paul and Terrell May.
Yep.
Oh man, man, why did Bradman Best have to be out?
Well, because he's injured.
Jock Madden.
He didn't get a choice.
I'll tell you, Adam Dewey's playing great. I'm going to go Newcastle. I'm going to go Newcastle by 4. I'm going to go Newcastle. They can't keep doing it every week, the Tigers.
I'm going Tigers by 12.
Wow.
The only reason I'm going Tigers is because it's at Campbelltown. I think they're going to be fairly evenly matched.
Is it their first game at Campbelltown? I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm going
'Cause they
Newcastle
played
by
at
4.
Leichhardt earlier in the year. I think
Yeah.
this is their first game at Campbelltown.
Oh, yeah, nice. Who'd they play at Leica?
Cowboys, where they pumped them by 500.
Oh yeah, that's right. 46 to
Man,
Yeah.
18 or something.
it's like
Something
they
crazy.
forever pump them there every year.
Yeah.
Year in, year out.
Yeah, I'm
They
going to get
absolutely torture them there.
Tigers by 6. I think it'll be a close one
What
again.
a game this is going to be.
It's going to be a great game.
Oh, I don't know why I went Newcastle. Oh,
Newcastle's been playing solid. I just think Tigers are a class above.
Who's on the other? Oh, it's Greg Margin.
And they've played like I don't know how you explain them.
You know what?
Every player's played their position and they've played well. They've worked for each
Can
other.
I have a look at the forward packs and I might change
and
my tip?
just a bit more capability, in my opinion.
Let's have a look.
To be honest, it's not a capability thing for me. I purely think that Tigers in Campbelltown always play their best footy, and they've been playing good footy anyway. So I just think that's the if they were playing at McDonald Jones, I would say it would be. I would tip the Knights.
I'd still tip the Tigers.
I would tip the Knights at McDonald Jones.
No, I'll just stick to it. Knights by 4.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Bloody
Tigers by
Bradman Best.
6 or 8. Yeah, if Bradman Best were playing, then it would be a bit of a
It gets
different.
even. It gets like, bro, do I just go for the golden point win or draw? I'll go Knights by 4. I've already said.
Tigers by 12.
All right, I'm going Tigers by 8. With that, we have come to the end of our preview show.
was a tough
Please be
one.
sure, give us a thumbs up, press the subscribe button, do all the good stuff. And keep in mind that if you are watching this every Tuesday at about 8 p.m., we go live. So thank you so much if you made it all the way. This has been brought to you by our sponsor, Equity Assets Finance. They are the go-to for all your financing needs, from home loans to car loans to business loans. They can get you up and running in a week. They are Sharia compliant. Reach out to Adnan and the team if you are looking to finance anything at all. Take our word for it. They are great. Details will be in the description below. And with that, we will bid you adieu. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.